my apologies for not happening when I was supposed to, but we got hit by lightning last night. Well, I think that's the story. So we had a massive storm last night, and I was setting everything up this morning. Everything was working perfectly on the show, ready to go, and about 10 minutes out, my computers just seemed to not work anymore. I couldn't get an internet connection, and I think I might have had someone come in and give me a bit of grief because I brought my main computer up into the house now. This is where I'm broadcasting from at the moment using my phone. And I don't know what's happened. I can't even get my computer to talk to my monitor at the moment. So let me see. We got some chat happening there. All right, so 39 people watching it, and again, my apologies. Well, this gives you a chance to have a look inside my house. All is okay, I can see you now. Hi, okay. Percy, Cram, and Andy, thank you so much. I'll tell you what, I've been running around like an absolute idiot, and my wife has stayed extremely quiet in the background. God bless her. She's wonderful. Okay, so there you go. I can see and hear you now, Hilton. Okay, sorry for your troubles, Dave. Well, thanks, Cameron. We had quite a little chat without you. I'm sure you guys did. Now, tell me, this is going to be my emergency backup situation if I have this situation arise again. It's never happened before. I've always been pretty good with this, and as I say, give you a look. What do you think of my roof? This is the ceiling in my home. This took me a long time to build, but it's worth it. I love this place. As I say, that's a little by the by. Now, also, Phoebe, there's a still shot of you with sound but no action. It's okay. Really send you to the corner. Are you not getting the image? Are you only getting a still? Is that for everyone, or is it just... Oh, no, you're seeing it. Okay, good on you, Hilton. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah, so this is in my previous life. This is what I did as a builder. These are the types of homes that I built for everyone. So mine was a little bit different. That main beam across the end there, so up the end, is 14 inches deep by about 6 inches wide. And this one down the middle of the building is the same depth, but around 3.5 to 4 inches wide. And also recessed downwards. I don't really like things hanging from the ceilings. I don't like clutter. I had to close the YouTube app and restart. All fine now. Okay, great. Well, here we go. This is my emergency backup. Now, I'm going to still see if I can get this rotten machine running, because it's Phoebe's birthday in a day or two, and we spent a heap of time this morning getting videos sent up to me. I was going to highlight what Phoebe does and go for it from there. But it just didn't happen. I'm looking at the comments as well. Hilton, it's all the ceiling is cypress pine, all the rafters are Oregon, some people call it hemlock, and the laminated beams up the top there that are spanning, well, the building's 7.5 meters wide by 14 meters long. So that beam there is around 11 meters long. So to give you an idea to what I used to do, and I engineered all of the roof structure as well. As I say, there you go. I love it. It's such a nice roof. I sometimes just sit there and look at it. It's lovely. Look, while I've got you here, we can do a little bit of a wander around. You can see a little bit more of what I do. The wireless connection here is pretty good. Thanks, Bill. Okay, so I'll give you another little tip on that ceiling. Because it's a cathedral ceiling, what we do is, in this particular one, I've doubled up the amount of roof battens. So I've got double sections of roof battens. There is 4 inches of insulation in between the battens, above the iron, with vapor, a building foil below that. And above that, again, we've got another 2 inches of fiberglass insulation blanket, which kind of like is a total envelope over the whole roof. And then the roof iron on top. And then above that, we've got the solar panels. So that faces north, of course, for Australia. And the solar panels actually act as a shade over the roof. So during the middle of summer, it's really comfortable in here. And the ceiling's around 12.5 feet tall to the ridge beam. All right, what else we got? Yeah, so sorry, Phoebe. I know poor old Phoebe was going to get all of her relatives to come in and watch the show, and she was going to starve. Oh dear, I feel terrible. Watching with, I'm still trying to learn how this works. So we've got 49 people watching, 15 thumbs up. I'm guessing we've lost a heap of people with the beginning of the show just not happening for 20 minutes. They would have said, oh, well, it's not happening this week. But I'll tell you what, I was running around like a chook with its head off. I just really would like to know why this computer is not working. I'm going to keep on trying because I'd love to get Phoebe's video up here as well. Now, what I could do is I'm going to have a bit of a read. 51 people in here. Now, the colour and all of that was going to be pretty good. Some people are still on the original link. How do I let them know not to go there? That's bizarre. Maybe they'll come over. Hopefully they will. All right, so here we go. Here we go. This is, as I say, this is running out of my phone, which I think is probably going to do, give you a better image than my conventional stream. Oh, thanks, Dane. Thank you so much for that. All right, so I'm checking the stream is running well, and here we go. Carl told us to reload. I'm going to turn this computer back on again and see if we can get anything happening. It's just, as I say, so embarrassing. Plug that one in as well. Oh, what happened there? Nothing. Looks good from Canada. Sign out and back in, and you will find Dave. Excellent. Okay. Is the image any better than the other shows? If it is, I don't know. I might muck around with this during the week. I've got a whole lot of mucking around to do during the week as far as these computers are concerned. Anyway, I have no idea how I found you. Okay, here we go. What was going to be in the show today? It's a better image. Thanks, John. Phoebe's rebate block plane and the video of her latest project. She's building this beautiful dining room table. Start up and switch off. Yes, it does. Too much backlight. Well, if I turn it around a little bit this way, is that any better if I do it that way? I've got the new shop. It's not a new shop. Okay, she's done it. She's doing a beautiful. Didn't think you were on, no, Steve. We had massive dramas, absolutely unbelievable, massive dramas. We had a massive lightning storm here last night, electrical storm, and everything was running fine this morning. But then all of a sudden, 5 to 10 minutes out from the show going live, nothing, no internet connection down the back at all. That's where the workshop is. So I'm back up in the house at the moment, and as I say, this will be the first time a lot of you have seen inside my home. Video's the latest, yeah. Video, the latest project. I'm still a little bit rattled. So her, the dining room table she's making with her fella is just lovely. They're doing such a nice job. Too many hot spots. Could be your power supply. It could be all sorts of things. If I turn around a little bit more, how's that as far as hot spots? There we go. Oh, thanks. It's the daylight from the windows flaring off the ceiling. It could well be. It could well be. But that's okay now, isn't it? Foam cutting for nesting your tools, inside story. Now, John Lafferty, I will tell you the story about it. And if I can get it all running next week, I will actually redo this show's format next week. And did you take any photos of the lightning storm? Better lighting now. Okay, no, I didn't. I was out pressure cleaning all the concrete out here because every year we get a little bit of an algae build up. And, it's just, it gets very slippery because we're in the mountains. So this block is a steep block. And, someone walking in without rubber soles on their shoes, they're going to go arse over. Okay, now the inside story on nesting. Now, John Lafferty has got a CNC machine. And he's a wizard with it, as you guys know. And what he's done, he says you can take photos of what you want and the box that you want to put it all in. So if you had a drawer that you wanted to nest some tools in. And why do you want to nest tools in? Because like me, you're probably sick of closing a drawer and opening it, closing it, and then everything ends up at the back of the drawer. So you open the drawer up and you're looking around for stuff and it's all in a pile at the back of the drawer. So this is the good thing about foam nesting. So it's got, he says to put a ruler on the ground. Just picked up a cheap pressure washer bundle from Bunnings, did you, Ian? And you put a ruler on the table beside it. Put all the tools out as you kind of like to lay them out, or in the drawer as you'd like to lay them out, and a ruler beside it. Take a photo and send it off to him. But also take a photo of all of the tools on their side. So then he knows the depth as well as the width to create a foam insert for you. He's very, very clever. And I've got pictures, but I haven't got them on my phone. So we'll have to do that next week if I get everything done. But it doesn't necessarily take a lot of space that could be used for other tools. Well, Zane, the thing is, if you don't nest, you're going to end up with all the tools at the back and not find any of them. So, maybe it's the way to go. I was also going to do some tips for drilling holes with a 20mm Forstner bit. And it's very basic. I'll go through it in a live demonstration next week. But what it is, you go all the way through with your pilot drill until the pilot drill has come all the way through. Had a black yesterday, 4.5 hours, sniff of rain here, blackout at Birchip, Victoria. Did you, Peter? So then, once you've gone all the way through, you follow through with your Forstner bit, and then before it gets through, you use the stop collar on Peter's Forstner bit, so it stops around about 3 or 4 millimeters before it comes out the other side. Turn it upside down, like do all your holes at that depth, then turn it up the other way, and then slide it down. Yes, some women nest a little bit earlier than 8.5 months, I think. Been down that track with my wife. And so you're drilling through from the other side. So it gives you a nice clean finish both sides. Now, it's not really that important if it's a work item, but if it's something you want to show off, well then, it's going to be a whole lot better. The next thing, marching ants, our amazing planet. I'll tell you what, I put a post on Facebook during the week about a massive pile-up of ants. And I think that they're called a golden back ant. And they're pretty good. They're nice. Nesting isn't bad if you can size the drawer depth approximately 1/2 inch deep tool in 4 inch is indeed wasteful. Yeah. G'day, Ian. Cracker of a storm last night. Ian, that's why I'm broadcasting from inside the house. I've lost the internet down in the workshop. So that's something I have to have a look at. You can't stop looking at the ceiling. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much for that. See, I do things now and then. As I say, down in the workshop, it's another life for me. It's a very enjoyable experience down there. What else we got? What else? So the nesting. So the ants. That's right. So the ants. I think the ants knew that this storm was coming. I just keep on getting amazed. So all of these eggs, and I don't know if it was the queen was laying the eggs like crazy or whether they were just relocating their nest. And they went the full length of the building. Now, my workshop is 11 metres long by 6 metres wide. And they started from 3 metres past the end of the building, went the full length, around the corner, down the full side, up a 6-foot wall, and then up bits of grass, and then off into the bush. Now, I've got video of this as well. And I'll play it next week, as I say, if we can get the connection next week. It's just, do things like that blow you away? I've got to keep reading. Nesting protects the tools. Ants are clever. They get very active just before rain. Now, the other thing is, I did this thing on the grinding a concrete slab, which was my video that I did last week on the weekend. And I was using my pressure cleaner, and that's why I thought, I've started. And I did a little bit outside the garage as well. I thought I'll keep on going. So I was cleaning away and I spotted that the ants were tracking across. So I thought I'd leave that area go. But the thing is, there was a drip from the hose where it was connecting onto the tap and it was washing out over where the ants were walking. And I thought, not a big drama. But then about half an hour later, all the ants got lost. I think they call it pheromones. So that's how the ants follow a trail for such a long time. There's a scent that they leave. Now the water had washed out the scent. And I've got pictures of the ants, just this massive congregation of ants, where the water is, and only 1 or 2 going out the other side. And they're all wandering around in like the 40 days in the desert for, was it Moses? That's crazy. He's just lost. Didn't know where they were. All right, so that was the other thing. More eyemuffs to be given away. So I've already loaded the competition. Thank heavens, I got that done before I lost the web. So I've loaded that on the Dave Stanton Facebook page. I'll load it onto the other 2 Facebook pages as well, and I'll try and get a link up for other places. Now, what's happened is George has said to me that he will give me 1 pair of eyemuffs a week for the month of April. That's so good. Now, you can be international, it can be Australia, it makes no difference. George is going to post those, they're Generation 1, I think they're called, with a spare lens. He'll be... I just read comment, Dave. Friend as Anson did not want to kill and did not want them in his cabin. He put cinnamon down to keep them out. Well, that's excellent job. So George is doing this giveaway for us, which I think is wonderful. I got in touch with him and said, George, it was very successful last time. You said you'd give a few more away, so let's do a whole month. And he said, yep, I'm on it. How cool is that? Right, so that's on Facebook. Jump over there, but not yet. Down to 69, we're losing people already. I didn't think we'd hold many people this week. You don't do Facebook. All right, well, no IMS for you. Sorry. I'll see if I can find another way to get you the competition. Steve Innes has got a new assembly table. So the Wood Whisperer had to copy what I'm doing, did he? Maybe he had a look and thought, maybe he's actually watching at the moment. Just don't put any personal info up there. Okay. Can previous winners enter? Yes, they can indeed, Lan. Not a problem at all. But if your name comes up, I might bin it. El Toro, hello. Where are we up to? Yeah, Steve's got a new assembly table that he's building, and he's done a fantastic job with he's got a friend that has a CNC machine, so he CNC'd out this high-quality MDF that is pretty water-resistant as well, and it's almost black. It looks really, really nice, and he's done it with some Craig track, which is the heavy-duty clamping track, and he's also had a large 600mm by 600mm triangle that's dead square in one corner, 90 degrees, and he's also had a dog hold out with the CNC machine, so that's really, really interesting. The Facebook House person will give it to whoever they want to. Yes, it does look nice. Okay, and as I said, I did a whole lot of cleaning up here. Now, with my pressure cleaner, I used to use the fan head on it. Installed ceiling timber boards, hammering hundreds of nails of boards upside down. Did you, Peter? I shot all these on with my gun. I didn't use it. So that was with the compressed air gun. My little DeWalt gun wouldn't do that at the speed I need to do it. So with the compressed air gun, I'm running, a 20 cubic feet compressor and just bouncing the gun. Bang, 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 bang. That's how quick it happens. Now, I also said last week that I had some very, very interesting news, some lovely news, as a matter of fact. It's 22. This isn't going to be a long show today, guys. Yes, he probably could. He probably could. Now, that brings me to the next thing. Talking about CNC machines. Now, you'll know that about 3 months ago, I had Ben Futrell on the show as a guest. And we were talking about CNCs and 3D printers. And I said to him, I don't think I'll probably ever get one. It tends to take the passion out of the job you create with it. And he agreed with me. And then I was looking at, I've been seeing what John Lafferty is doing with his things. And I thought, these are really nice. Maybe I should rethink this. And you know what happened? There's a guy in England got in touch with me. He owns a software company. He said, Dave, would you be interested in running some of my software on a CNC? I said, well, if I had a CNC machine, yeah, I'd probably give it a go. It's probably something that I've been a little bit scared of, and I really should just extract the digit, as they say, and do it. So I'm reading as well, talking about 40 years ago, before nail guns. Well, I was using my nail gun in 84. I bought my first nail gun in 1984, maybe 1982. Yeah, about then. So that's a fair while back. I haven't got it anymore. The compressor, they both died in the meantime. So anyway, back to the story. And so they got back to me and he said, look, if I can get a hold of a CNC machine for you, would you be interested? And I said, yeah, definitely. And then I heard nothing for about 4 weeks. And then I get an email that's carbon copied to someone else. I'm copied in, introducing Dave, me. Dave didn't come begging. I approached him. He's interested in doing this. What do you think? Well, they got back to me, and I'll cut a long story short. In 5 weeks' time, I have a CNC machine arriving from the States. And I couldn't be happier. I'll tell you, I'm over the moon. But the thing is, I'm not going to tell you the company's names because we'll just leave that. I'm giving you a little bit of a teaser for people that watch the show. So who we got there? Awesome. Yeah, unbelievable. So when I had this chat and an email came through that said, yep, we're going to do it. I sit here, Vicky sits beside me at her computer right beside me here, and I just couldn't believe it. I said some naughty words in my excitement. Can they supply to Australia? Yes, they do. No, Lan, you can't get eyemuffs anymore, but do you want a CNC machine? Yes, they do supply to Australia. The software is also supplied to Australia, and that's one of the reasons they've approached me. There's a few other people around the world that they've approached, and I'm not going to tell you any more about that. But the thing is, so I'm lost for words now. If they were around, the old man was too tight to purchase. So, as I say, I'm lost for words at the moment. But it's just such an amazing thing. And this isn't a cheap machine. It's just amazing. Good deal on the CNC thing, Dave. Yeah. So, as I say, if I found that if you approach companies, if you're a YouTuber and you approach companies, sometimes you'll get a result. I've had a couple of people, like George, I approached him because I said, a friend of mine who recommended I get in touch with you, and what do you think? And George was fantastic. He jumped straight in. There's other companies that I've approached, and not interested. But others, let me keep reading, just need to get before July 1. Why was that? I didn't read the rest of that. Maybe it'll come up after the next comments made. How are we doing for 82 people watching? There it is. Before and the GST kicks in for product under 1,000 from us. Getting a big one like throughout. Yes. Not saying any more. So it's going to be 8 feet by 4 feet. So I'll be able to put a full sheet of plywood or melamine on there and go nuts. But I've got to learn it. Now, John Lafferty has said, look, Dave, I might be able to give you a bit of a hand learning this. And that's one of the great things about this community. That how cool is that we might be able to do that? I'm still rattled by this stupid computer. I can't believe it. I dream of getting one, but the cost is just too high to justify me at the moment. That's huge. So it's massive. You can understand when they said, this is what we want to give you, Dave, and we want to teach you how to do it, and we want you to share the experience. So you'll know that I've been doing some videos on cleaning my garage up and grinding the floor and getting it painted. Now that's the reason Fusion 360 has YouTube videos on how their software might be a good start. Yes, it could be. Debbie, thank you. So I didn't have to do all this work getting the room ready, but I thought to myself, look, this company's been generous with me. I want to give them the best result that I can in showing how nice their unit can be. Did you hear the Aussie politician want to start charging Aussies $5? No, I did not. So the story continues. What's this? John wants to help so he can borrow it. No, John's got a lovely machine. So the story continues. I'm not going to read any comments on the side for a little bit. That it was a golden opportunity. Everything just happened at the right time. It was a golden opportunity for me to clean out the garage, which had just become a dumping ground. And because I've got the workshop behind that I concentrate on, and that's one of the reasons I can keep it nice and clean. I've got some Dexian pallet racking in the garage, and I roll that around now because I put it all up on wheels. I've got some other cabinets out there that I use for mechanical things, like working on the lawnmower and working on parts for the dingo. But I keep that out in the garage because it's kind of a heavy-duty area. I don't take that stuff into where I have the woodworking. And I thought, well, I was going to paint the floor with a just a garage paint. I thought I might leave that. I might leave that because a lot of people have said you should really put down a clear finish because the slab has come up so well after I ground it. So I'm not. I'm still reading. It was supposed to start last year. So, as I say, I just wanted the top of the slab was rough and powdery because over years it's been down there for about 20 years. Over years of walking in vehicles and dingo running around on it, it's worn the cement away from the aggregate, and the aggregate's kind of had become slightly exposed. And how good was it when I put the grinder over it? It was just like terrazzo. And wheeling things around in there now, I've got that heavy cabinet with the solid wheels on it, and it's quiet, whisper quiet. Before I ground the floor, it was going, you know what it's like. If you've got a situation like that where you've got a slab that's had erosion on the all the fines, that's what they call it, the sand and the cement part are called the fines. The blue metal is called the aggregate. Where are we up to? Did you finish your garage? Did you want to come down and do my... Debbie, if only I could. If you clear finish it, might become slippery. Well, the garage floor paint would also be slippery. You can throw some stuff into the mix to run with it, and I've always got my blue mats that I can throw down in those areas. So I'm thinking I'd like to, yeah, I can throw sand in it. The other thing that I've seen people do is they've thrown epoxy down on boats. What they do is they put the finish down, and before it dries, they'll get sugar, and they'll broadcast sugar out all over it. And the sugar dissolves and leaves little pits, and they're like tiny little suction caps on the bottom of your feet. It's pretty clever, isn't it? I hope you CNC. Well, I wait for the next comment and I'll read that one. Isn't an SCM branded unit. They only run one software option right after he does. Cool idea. Yeah. So I think I'll go with a clear finish. I'm not 100% sure yet. I just want to see what happens. The other thing with the clear finish, I'm hoping that because it's an epoxy, it can fill voids as well. So I can do a coat, and I can do a second coat over the top that will kind of pond and fill up any of the tiny little imperfections. So, Dan, Stroud, hello from Amsterdam. G'day, Dan, how are you? So I think that's about it. What a terrible start to the show. I like that trick with the sugar. Yeah, a new business venture perhaps. It does fill. It does fill. Okay, thanks, Steve, for letting me know. The stuff that I'm thinking about using, apparently you mix it up. You combine the two parts, and then you let it set. You let it sit for a while. It's like cooking a steak. Rest it for 2 minutes. This stuff, I don't know how long, 8 minutes, I guess. And then you apply it, and then I think it's 7 days that I have to leave it. So time here is 1:53. You use it in pubs. You know, I'm really starting to go that way at the moment, because in the old days, before we'd put carpet down on top of a concrete slab, there was this product called Ardit, and it's a self-leveling compound, but it doesn't look anywhere near as nice. So it's got just a light grey cement. We used epoxy in warehousing. Does it? Thanks a lot. So I'm very excited about the whole process. Here we go. Who's going to watch the F1? Not me. Send you some specs. Thanks, Steve. I've got the epoxy floor. It's great. Excellent. Thanks, John. Oh, dear. What a start to the day. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to stop reading the comments. I promise I will stop reading it this time. But I don't know. The show was looking to be a really, really good show today, and it's just, I'm so sorry for Phoebe, because she's got all her family to watch, and it's just terrible. It would have been so good for her, because the video she sent up to me, as I said, we spent an hour or two this morning just racing like crazy trying to get everything ready. But I think that's going to be about it for today. So, look, I'll read the comments after the show if it's going to be held. Sugar Ants, this could make a funny mess. I'm glad you're okay. Okay, thanks for that, John. I will think of the new toy. So I'm going to take you guys through the process of the discussion. We have Skype meetings, this group, and it's called the Stanton team. And we've had a snapshot of all all 4 people involved. And that's the beginning. It's going to be so much fun. I really am in intrepid fear of the thing because it's a whole new language that I've got to learn. I'm pretty good with Photoshop, so I know my way around that pretty well. But this stuff with vectors and X, Y, and Z axes, the guys offered to get me the software early so I could practice with the software. I said, look, I'm not that kind of a learner. I need to have the machine here. I need to build the machine. I need to know all the parts backwards. I need to have it set up here. And then maybe after I've got it set up, put the software on it and tell it to move from this side to the other side. Crawl before I walk. I think it's got to be the way I've got to do it. And then, because I don't know what you guys are like, but if I'm trying to just learn software without seeing a physical result in front of me, without seeing something move, I'm useless. I really am. So I'm guessing there's a few other people like that as well. And I know Steve is fantastic with SketchUp. I know John is fantastic with Fusion 360. And I know there's probably a heap of people out there watching who are very, very good with all of this stuff as well. But as I say, I'll take you through the journey. The reason I don't make any comment in the videos as I'm going along about the machine coming to me is because if someone wants to go back and have a look at how to do concrete grinding, they're not going to be interested in a CNC machine, that part of the story. So the videos will be just about this. I'm going to try and get some LED lighting up in the garage as well because I know how good it is in the workshop. So I need to put that in the garage as well. I'm going to pull all the fluorescent fittings down. I'm buying a new dust extractor because I want a 1-horse machine right beside the CNC to pull all the dust out. You notice that I bought some more mats from Aldi. Well, that's one of the reasons. I've been trying to keep it under my hat for as long as possible. But you get very excited about it. So, I don't know. What else was there? I will be doing videos on how I either paint or how I put epoxy on the floor. I'm going to try and get a hold of a flat grinder from Festool to try and get right up to the edges. If it's going to be epoxied, I'd like it to be clean all the way up to the edges. I did take skirting boards off the walls when I did the original grind to try and get the machine as close as possible to the edge. So it's going to be very exciting. All right, coming up to 12 o'clock. Let me have a look here. I don't know if I've got any links in the description box below. There might be a link there to eyemuffs to go and actually buy some eyemuffs if you want. I'll put a link in the description box below this video on how to enter that competition. There's also links that I have, my normal links for this Dave Stanton store or Stanton store, whatever it's called. It's basically links to England's Amazon and also to North America's Amazon store. And it's a few things that I use in my workshop. So if you have a look around my workshop and think, well, where'd Dave get that from? Obviously, a lot of the stuff I bought in Australia because you know that I do a bit of part-time work for Carbotech, so a lot of the stuff came from there. And the Festool stuff I bought from them as well. But if you're in the States or in England, obviously you're not going to be able to buy from Carbotech because the shipping is going to be too cost restrictive. So I give you links as to the things that I buy if you can't get them in Australia, if you're in another country in the world. And use them because it helps to fund this show, and you can see the drama that I've had with this show this morning, which I would much rather on a Sunday morning be sitting outside having some scones maybe and a cup of coffee with my wife and just chatting. But this is what I do. It's my gig. I know that I do it, and one of the great things as well is I am getting this very, very nice CNC machine. More as it comes along. And thanks for watching, everybody. Have a safe week. I had a great week, except for this debacle this morning. See you next time. Watch the repeat if you get a chance, and keep on coming back. I'll see you later. Thanks, guys. Let me see if I can turn it off. There. Yep, okay, done. Bye.